Okay, my name is James Pate, and this is webinar Enrich Snippets and Authorship. And on this call, I'm going to be talking about a few details on how to set up the plugin correctly, as well as answer a few questions that you guys may have. So first off, I'm going to go through some manual setup of the Rich Snippet tool. So let me just switch the screen over. Okay, just let me know if you can see my browser here. Yeah, if one of you guys could do a recording as a backup, that'd be great, just to make sure it works. Okay, so okay, good. So we got some people recording. All right, so as you can see, to set up the rich snippets manually, basically what I did was I took the code that Google provides. So I'm just going to go through that and show you exactly what you can do if your page is in HTML. So for the authorship plugin, as you can see here, they provide a tool, which is actually the same thing that I used when I was integrating the authorship widget into my plugin. So basically what you do is you go to this link and you type in your profile. So just use that as an example. Okay. So basically what you do is you go to your profile, and then you take this number at the top, you copy it, and on this page you put it in here, and you can do it as either an icon or a badge. And as you can see, that's the exact same thing that I used for my plugin. So you can do the same thing with just HTML, and then you can copy and paste this code right here into any website, and it'll work the exact same way. So you can also do it as an icon, which some of you might prefer, and I can actually add that to the plugin if you want for the next version. But so yeah, this is pretty easy to use, but it achieves the exact same thing that the plugin does. So I just thought I'd show that to you guys. And basically, after you set that up, if you haven't looked through the PDF in the members area, there's a guide that goes through how to set this up. But basically, you go to your profile, you go to Edit Profile, and there's a section over here where it says Contributor To, and you click that, and then you click Add Custom Link, and you just name it, and you put in the URL of the website. And you have to do this in order to get your authorship to show up in searches. So, and when I'm talking about authorship, what I'm talking about is your Google profile image, because this is the image that can actually show up in searches when you link these two together with your website. So as you can see, I have all of my websites right here, a few of them that I link to my profile. And basically, you have to make sure if you have www before it that you put that here. And if you don't do it correctly as it is with your website, it won't show up. So let me just show you an example. So as you can see, let me log out just to, so it's clear it's not because I'm logged in. So as you can see, my profile shows up beside all these websites along with the stars. And on the ones where it doesn't have stars, your image will show up a little bigger. So if you want it to show up bigger, you might just want to not include the stars on that. So actually, let me try, because I can't see the questions right now. Okay, there we go. Okay, can you show an example of authorship showing up in search, please? Okay, yeah, so this is the authorship. So as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and clear my cache, just so you know I'm not doing anything funny. So as you can see here, I have the authorship image and the stars showing up together on my main page. And right here, you can see it's reviewed by John on Google Reviews. So that's the review widget that I'm using for that one. So as you can see, it's working fine on pretty much all of my pages. So it's an example for you guys to see. Let me just check the questions real quick. Do you have to have Google Plus 1 likes or a number for your picture to show up in SERPs or relation author? So basically, you don't have to have a certain number of votes or ratings for these stars to show up. It's not like a Google Places page where you have to have 5 for the stars to show up. Basically, the way this works is it shows 5 stars, and then it'll show this rating. No matter how many reviews you have, this will show up. So it's not like Google Places, and it's not attached to Google Places at all. Like you don't need a Google Places account to get these to show up. Okay. Okay, I'll slow down a bit. Sorry about that. Okay, James, check out Google search for female dentist Gilbert. Okay, cool. So it looks like Ken Sherman is charging someone $79 to do this. And as you can see, he's got 4 stars on the front page. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, Don, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, but need to get relation author to have votes. Well, Don, I think what you're referring to is the authorship, and the authorship in the if you're referring to the authorship, there's a few different ways to do that actually. If you go to this page right here, Google, this is where Google talks about how to set up Google authorship. So basically, there's 2 ways you can do it. The first one is you can have your email address on the same page as your content, and then basically you have the same thing on your Google profile and it links them. But I don't think that's as reliable as linking directly to your profile. So this is what I use right here. But okay. Is it necessary to have Google Plus for using the plugin in the rich snippets, or is it just for showing your picture? Okay, that's a good question. Google Plus is only necessary for having the authorship image show up. You don't actually have to have a Google Plus account for your stars to show up. So basically the only reason you need the Google Plus is because that's where it grabs the image from. And you have to add that link on your Google Plus page. So let me just give an example. So as you can see here, this is basically how it works. It takes that link that you put on your home page and it checks the link on your Google profile as well. And if those 2 are linked together, then it'll say verified authorship markup. So, and as you can see here, this is the rich snippet data from the stars plugin, or the stars widget that I added. So it's showing both of those right there. And then it grabs the image right there. So the image in Google profile must have a person, correct? Can't be a logo, etc. Well, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that in their terms of service they say that you can only be a person, but I mean I'm sure it might work if you just wanted to put a logo there. I mean that's up to you if you want to try that or not. But okay, so I think we've gone over pretty much how to set up the authorship. So next I'm going to cover the different types of rich snippets you can use because there's a lot more than just reviews. So as you can see here, Google supports rich snippets for reviews, people, products, businesses, recipes, events, music. And this is actually what I'm going to be doing next with the plugin is I'm going to add support for all of these different options so that you can not just use it for reviews. But so let me show you that real quick. And I try and use microdata because that's what they recommend. So as you can see here, they have the HTML. So if you do have an HTML website and you need to get this, this is the best place to get it is to go to Google. Just do a Google search for rich snippets, and you should be able to find this page. But I can also put it on the website just to make sure you guys have it. So basically, you would just go to the type of one that you want over here in the left menu, and then you go down and it'll say microdata, so you click that. And then you can just copy and paste this HTML for your HTML websites. Let me check the questions real quick. Can you go to the first link on the Google developer page where you entered the Google Plus profile URL? Okay, sure. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I'm just getting the link for authorship. And I can include all these links in the members area. I'll go and add them to the HTML section. But this is what I was talking about where you can manually add the authorship is this page right here. And yes, this is being recorded. So when upgrading the plugin to 2.1 to 2.2, do you have to uninstall 2.1 first? Will this data and settings be retained? Yes, the data and settings are retained. Basically, you do have to, all you do is you delete the old plugin and then you install the new one. So, and all your settings should be saved because, yeah, you should be good. Because if it's a shortcode, it'll keep the shortcode. And if it's a widget, it should keep the widget information. But you might just have to drag the widget back in there, but that shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, for those of you who have the premium version, I did do an upgrade today to version 2.2, which solves a jQuery problem that a lot of you guys were having, or a few of you. Some of you it affected the menus. I think one person had a problem with the links, but all of that should be fixed with the upgrade for the premium version. James, where exactly do you place the microdata code on plain HTML page? That's a good question. Basically, you can put the code wherever you want. I suggest putting it like at the bottom of the page right under the content because I think that makes the most sense, or in the footer is another good place to put it. Basically, anywhere will work in terms of getting the code to show up in Google, but yeah, you can pretty much put it wherever you want. Are you saying that we can't just upgrade? Well, to upgrade to the new version, you do need to, I mean, you need to uninstall the other version to upgrade to the new one. Or if you wanted to, because I mean, that's how it works with any plugin. So let me just look through the questions. Okay, someone has issues with a plugin where a theme is breaking the footer. Will the update solve this? Um, I mean, it really depends. If it's a custom theme, I've come across some people who are having problems because it's a custom theme that maybe someone made for them and it just wasn't made very well. But I mean, any theme that supports widgets should work fine. But if you have any issues, you can just make a ticket in the members area and I'll personally help you out if you're having trouble getting it set up. But okay. Okay, someone asked all the plugins they use just require updating without an install. That's basically because a lot of the plugins that are free are automatically linked to from WordPress's repository, which means that basically because it's in WordPress, you can update automatically by clicking update. What was the OTO? The OTO is it's a short code for making rateable stars show up on pages. So this is the premium version right here. Basically, you just rate the stars, and then it calculates that and shows it in search engines. Okay, so I think we're pretty good with that. Let me keep on going with the slideshow. And I'll just answer questions as we get it. Is it a separate piece? Oh, I had a lot of people ask this. So a lot of people were wondering if the one-time offer is actually a separate plugin, but and the answer is no, it's not. I basically incorporated both of the plugins into one plugin, so you wouldn't have to install two plugins. So if you have the premium version, basically all you have to do is go into the members area and download the plugin right there, and that will be the premium shortcode, and it will also include the original version. So, and the difference between those is the regular and developers version. The developers version gives you the ability to install it on unlimited sites, as well as sites that you sell and are using for clients. So that's the main difference between the developers version. And the premium version of the plugin enables more features. Yes, the members area has the latest download. Okay, so let me share my screen real quick. Okay. Yes, I can show where in the members area the newest download is in 1 second. Let me go through this first. So as you can see, this is another way you can add the authorship manually. And it might be easier than if you don't want to go to that page and enter your profile URL and do it that way. You can just add a link, href equals quote, and then where it has the profile URL with brackets, you just replace that with the link to your profile. And then question mark relation equals author. So that's another way you can do it. if you're having trouble getting it to work on any of your sites or your HTML sites. And this is an example of what that would look like. So go to the next slide. Okay. Okay, so a lot of you are wondering if this is some kind of trick where we're tricking Google into giving us stars. And I hope you've noticed by now that no, this is not what we're doing. This is code that is provided by Google, but just like anything else, it's a tool that Google's giving you and that I'm giving you to use, and it really depends on how you use it, whether it's going to work or not. So I know a lot of people have had trouble with getting their stars to show up, or their stars were taken down. My stars were actually taken down right after I did the WSO because I think a few people reported my stars because I did a WSO on it and they wanted to be sneaky. But basically, if you get your stars taken down, you can get them back. And I did with the Raleigh Painters website, as I showed you. All of my stars were taken down. Basically, what I did was I took all of my stars down and I waited till Google re-indexed, or not re-indexed, but crawled my pages again so they weren't showing up in SERPs. And then I put it back on again. And I guess somehow that refreshed it and the stars showed back up again. So if you're having trouble, you might want to try that. Or you could try using a different widget. Like if you were using the stars widget, you can try using the review widget, or do the opposite if you were using the review widget and they weren't showing up. So you can get your stars back if they're not showing up. Okay, let me check the questions. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some of the best ways to use this plugin, whether you're doing offline marketing or affiliate marketing, because that's another question that a lot of people have been asking, especially when we first started. So basically the idea is you want to make it clear to Google and other people that you are using it honestly, and that it's not, it doesn't look spammy or it's not faking reviews, because none of us really know like how exactly Google is filtering this or if they are filtering it. But what I think is the best way to do it is to make sure you are not using a ton of reviews, because if anything would like set off Google's flags, I would think that would be it. So if you have like 500 reviews or something, um, I would not recommend doing that. I usually only use about 5 or so just to be safe, because I mean, you want your stars to show up. That's what's important, is catching the attention of people who are on the page. It doesn't matter if you have like 100 reviews. If anything, that might detract people from going to your page, because I mean, even if you have 100 reviews, a lot of people would think that looks fake. I mean, you can do that if you do have that many reviews. You can basically, what I suggest is putting an actual link to where your reviews are. You can use like a text widget if you're using the widget. Basically, just put an HTML widget directly under your reviews widget or your stars widget, and then just do a link to the page where your reviews are. Whether you can have user reviews and you can just put them on a page if you're doing an affiliate site and you have a few reviews, or if you have a local marketing site, or if it's for a local client, what you can do is just link to wherever the reviews are that you're referencing. So you can use like Google, LinkedIn, Insider Pages, Yelp, basically any of those sites. It doesn't really matter. You're just trying to make it clear that you have reviews somewhere in case someone reports your page, because Google does have a page where you can report bad use of rich snippets. Let me check the questions real quick. And again, if you are having specific issues, just make a ticket in the help desk and I'll try and get to it soon. Someone's asking if it's okay to put more than one site, and I think it is okay. Because basically what that is it's saying sites that you contribute to, so that you're writing posts for or that you author the content. So I would think that would be fine. And also, I'm not sure exactly, but it might actually help that you have posts on your Google Plus account. I mean, I'm just taking a guess, but I know for what was it? For like Google reviews, I know I believe they check if you're actually using the email address that you post like ratings of businesses on. Otherwise, they might actually take down the reviews if it looks like it's from a fake account. So I'm guessing the same thing would apply to authorship, that they might actually show your profile image more if the actual page that you're using, if your Google profile actually has a few posts. So you might want to just like make a few posts. You can even just put a link to some website or something. It doesn't really matter. But I mean, I'm just guessing, but that might help. Oh, sorry. I accidentally changed that. Let's see. I'll leave that up. Do I have an affiliate link to Article Marketing Robots WSO? I don't. I wasn't aware that they had a WSO. At least I know of. But can the width be adjusted? Yes, you can adjust the width for the authorship. I included a. You can add a number in there for the pixel width for the boxes to fit different sidebars. And I believe it's the same thing with the stars widget. Although I plan on adding more settings for that in the next update too. But I know there's a setting to change the width of the stars image as well as the premium shortcode stars. You can change the size of those as well. So, okay, so back to the slide. Um, yeah, so basically you just add a link to where your reviews are. And if you're using the stars widget, because you don't actually have a review on there, you would do the same thing. Just use the actual number of stars as you have in your reviews, if you have in your reviews. And I mean, it's not necessary to do this. You can be fine not doing this. And actually, on my Raleigh Painter website that I use as an example, I don't have any reviews linked to on that, and all the stars are showing up fine. So this isn't something you have to do. It's just something to be safe, just in case someone does report your stars. So, and with the premium shortcode, the thing I like about it is you don't really need to do any of this because it's kind of clear that it's user ratings because people actually click on the stars to rate them. So it's not something you need to show proof of as much. What are the reasons stars or authorship might get taken away? Is it always someone reporting you, or does Google manually review these? That's a good question, and that's actually not something I'm sure of because I don't really know anyone that works in Google, and I haven't read anything from anyone who knows, but I imagine it's part of their algorithm that they have some way of filtering them, and it's very possible that they manually review. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure they review the ones that get reported, but I would guess that they might have some filtering that's done in their algorithm, whether it be, like large amounts of reviews that they filter out from and don't make them show. I really don't know, but the reason they might get taken away is basically just if it looks spammy. You just have to be smart with it. If it's clear that they're faked, then there's a better chance that Google will take them down because they're smart and they hate spamming. I mean, they don't want people to abuse this, and they don't want a lot of fake reviews to go in all their search engines. So you just have to be smart with it and use it sparingly as far as like the review numbers that you use. You don't want to overdo it. Okay, so someone said they deactivated 2.1, installed 2.2, the settings retained, and it's still showing the widgets. So yeah, when you disable it and delete it and install the new one, there's basically nothing you have to do except for as far as resetting it up again. So. And I can get a link to Article Marketing Robots WSO. I'll get an affiliate link for that for you guys who want my Article Marketing Robot list. Because I have a list of about all the directories that I submit articles to with Article Marketing to Robot. And that's probably one of the best backlinking tools that I use regularly. But, okay, let's go on through the slides. Okay, so I covered this a little bit, how to keep your stars and get them back. That's what I've been talking about with the questions. This is the page that Google provides for reporting rich snippets. So as you can see, they are reviewing these at least that people submit to them. So you do need to be careful how you use this and try to make sure it doesn't look spammy and that you're using a small amount, because all you're trying to do is get a star to show up to attract people's attention. And beyond that, people aren't really gonna care if you have like 1,000 reviews. I mean, for most of this, you're going to be the only one on the page with stars. So you don't want to abuse this. You want to try and keep your stars. So, okay, now I'm going to talk about a few of the things that I'm planning on adding. So as you can see, I talked a lot about reviews, but I'm going to add settings in the widget for incorporating people, products, businesses, and all of this. So you can actually like show images of your business, and there's a lot of really cool things you can do. And especially with videos, I've had some success with this. You can show a video preview image of a video on your website that is actually on that page. So I'm going to include a rich snippet widget for doing that as well. And I'm going to add more options for the short code so that you don't have to or at least for the star shortcode that's included in the basic version. I'm going to add options for that so you can like include different variables in the shortcode so that it will show a custom amount of stars for each page for the shortcodes. So you don't have to have like one number that you set in the admin panel and it's the same for every page. So I'm going to add that option, and I'm going to try and add a few more options. But if you guys have anything that you want added, you can just put a ticket in the members area, and I'll try and figure out a way to get it in there. Okay, formatting options for font size and line breaks. Okay, I can look into that. I do have options for font colors. And here's a few of the resources that I talked about. And this is an important one if you're not aware. You can actually test your rich snippets after you set them up. You can just search for Google rich snippet test if you don't want to remember this link. But basically, that's the best way to check if you're doing it right. Instead of wondering if you set it up right and waiting to see if your stars show up in Google. As soon as you get it loaded, just check the pages that you want to see how it's going to show up in Google search. And if there's stars showing up on this page, then they're going to eventually show up in SERPs. And basically, a lot of you may be wondering like how to get your stars to show up. I know that's a lot of like not worrying about when they're taken down, but how to get them to show up at the start. And I included a lot of info on that in the members area if you guys haven't checked it out yet. But basically, it's just like anything else with Google crawling pages. You need to make sure that Google is coming back to your pages and checking the content. So basically what you want to do is make sure you're backlinking it. That helps a lot. Also, if you update your sitemap in Google, make sure you have a sitemap for all your pages and submit it through Google Webmaster Tools. And you can also, there's a lot of free backlinking resources in the members area if you're wondering about ways to backlink without having to pay for everything. for expensive backlinking tools. But that's about it. If you guys have any more questions, now would be the time. Let me just look through them real quick. Okay, resource slide. Sorry. There's the resource slide, and I'll also put this in the members in the members area on the menu section where it says HTML. So I'm going to include all of these resources in there so you don't have to copy them down right now. And I'll try and add that by tomorrow, just so you have all these resources. Yeah, thanks for bearing with me through this webinar. This is my first. This is also my first plugin, so thanks for dealing with some of the issues we had when we first started. But I think all the bugs are worked out now, and now I'm just going to try and give you guys as much value as possible. I'm going to keep on updating it because this is the same plugin that I use for my clients and things like that. So if you have different sites with different authors, do you need to set up separate Google Plus accounts? Is there a problem with Google Terms? Yeah, you can set up as many author accounts as you want for different websites. You can even do that for different pages on the same website because the way the Google Authorship works is it's basically referring to which pages you're contributing to. So when we're adding it to the widget area, what we're doing is we're applying it on every single page. So you can have different authors on different pages. So if you had a website, for instance, where you're maybe you have different pages that are targeting different keywords for maybe different kind of businesses, then you could sell those individual pages. You could sell access to them, get them ranked for their keyword terms, and then you could attach that person's or that business's Google profile image to that exact page, and then they would have their logo show up or their personal image in searches for that single page. So there's a lot of different things you can do with Google Authorship. The members area URL is wpreviewstars.com. And basically that'll direct you to the members area. I can type that real quick, hold on. So yeah, you just log in, and I can actually give you guys, I'll show you the members area real quick. What about multiple locations of the same business? Can you be more specific, Ron, what you're asking with that? Okay, getting a few questions. Hold on. Yes, there will be a replay. And whoever was doing doing the replay, if you could send me a message, that would be great, so we could get in contact. Okay, just going through the questions. Okay, this may be, don't you open your website for review problems with customers by giving an opening for anyone to enter them by using the OTO add-on code? Hold on one second. Um, no, not necessarily. Basically, the way I set up the premium plugin is you can actually reset the number of reviews if someone does abuse it. So I can give you all an example for those of you who are confused about how to set up the premium version. Okay. Just log in real quick. Okay, so for anyone who's confused about how to use the premium version, basically what you do is you enter the short code star rating right here with 2 brackets, and then you go to custom fields. And to enable custom fields, there will be this tab at the top right here that says screen options. So you click that, and you need to make sure this is checked right here. And then you go down and you just do count. You set the initial value for what you want your count to be. And then your rating, which is how many stars out of 5 you have. And then you just update that. And then you go to the page. Okay, so say someone does like vote 1 a bunch of times. Basically, all you would have to do is go to you would just go in here and update the rating and count. So you can change it whenever you need to if someone does abuse it. Okay, is it possible to show ratings instead of reviews in search engines? I'm not sure if you're referring to the actual text that shows in search engines or on the page, but I am planning on adding, like redoing that and adding more options for customizing the text that shows in Google. But if you're using the review widget, you can actually customize the text that does show up in Google. So you can make it say either reviews or ratings or whatever you want. Is there any difference using rich snippet microdata on a WordPress site or on an HTML site? No, not necessarily. Basically, on a WordPress site, what it's doing is it's turning it into a plugin, so you can automatically put it on every single page. It just makes it easier instead of having to post the HTML for every page. So, and just reply real quick. Placing the review stars in authorship may be different managers at each location. Yeah, you could do it that way, Ron. That would be a good idea. You could have the manager himself use his Google profile for their page, and you could do it on every single page. Like, say you're using subdomains for different locations. If you have multiple locations, you could just use the Google authorship and do it by page using the HTML code. Okay. So are there any more questions? Let's make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, guys, well, I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or Skype or make a ticket in the members area. I'm actually on Skype all the time, so if you have an issue, you can just add me. That's fine. Um, all right, and that's it. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And just let me know if you have any more questions. Have a good one.